Welcome back to my channel, guys. As many of you know, I recently underwent a legal change of name, and my new name is Alithia, and that is how you pronounce it. And you can probably hear the excitement in my voice. I'm very, very excited. I feel like this has been a long time coming and a major upgrade for me, and it just makes me feel so happy to finally have a name that feels like it fits me and suits me. And in honor of this, I was inspired to do a video about the most elegant, sophisticated, classy perfumes in my collection. And yeah, I'm really excited to share them with you. Hopefully some of them are not too repetitive. I've talked about a few of them before, but there are a couple of new ones. So if you're interested in seeing what these are, then stay tuned. Also, if you haven't already subscribed, definitely head on down and hit the big red button so that you don't miss any future fragrance-related content. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the first one in no particular order is Delina Exclusif from Parfums de Marly, and many of you guys know that this is one of my all-time favorite perfumes. I actually like to wear this one for day-to-day wear when I don't know what to wear, because although it is a very feminine and sophisticated and kind of special perfume, and also kind of an expensive perfume, I do feel that this fits more like everyday wear than it does evening wear. So I don't really save this for anything in particular. But if it is just your typical day of the week and I'm going out running errands and I want to smell good and put together and feminine and just feel really, really feminine and really elegant, this is one that I will pick. And for those of you who haven't smelt this before, this is essentially a creamy rose, sort of a vanillic, woody fragrance. It's absolutely beautiful. It also has a little bit of some subtle fruity notes in the opening, and it truly is one of the most unique fragrances I've ever smelt. So that is the first one on my list. Also has excellent performance. This is Delina Exclusif from Parfums de Marly. The second one will come as no surprise to you guys, and this is Guerlain Florale from Guerlain. So of course you could probably pick any of the flankers or the pillar of Guerlain. The reason I chose the Guerlain Florale is because this one actually has a little bit of a brighter, vibrant daytime quality to it. The original one I also think is very, very elegant, but it pulls a little bit more like evening sensual to me, where this one I think is more of an everyday scent. And this one is truly sophisticated, truly beautiful, truly elegant. It smells just like the original Guerlain. But as I've said before, it does have a little bit more of that bright sort of floral quality about it. But for me, it definitely still is a vanilla and lavender perfume. It's sweet, it's beautiful, it's pretty. I think it would be very, very difficult not to like this perfume. Like, I think you'd be hard pressed to find somebody who didn't like this perfume. So one of my favorites, it's one of my new favorites actually, and that is Guerlain Florale. The next one is an oldie but a goodie. I have talked about this one many, many times. This is Chloe Absolu de Parfum, and this is one of my favorite, actually this is probably my favorite Chloe fragrance. This one has only 3 notes, which is vanilla, patchouli, and rose. So this does have a very strong similarity to the original Chloe. When you smell it, you can tell that it is a Chloe fragrance, but it's not quite so fresh and like floral and woody. It's just primarily a very soapy, clean, sophisticated rose scent. It has just the perfect amount of patchouli, the perfect amount of vanilla. I've told you guys this before, but it literally to me smells like an expensive spa rose soap. That's what it smells like. It's beautiful. It's addictive to me. You can tell I've also put a pretty good little dent in this bottle. It doesn't really look like it from up front, but I have put a pretty good dent. This is one of my favorite fragrances to wear to work, although of course I wear it very, very sparingly when I go to work because we're not really supposed to be wearing fragrances. I just put a tiny little spray underneath all of my clothing. And I don't think anybody else can smell it on me, but it's just enough that occasionally I'll get this tiny whiff of this gorgeous perfume coming up through my shirt. It's very close to my skin. I don't think it's offensive, and it's just beautiful. And at the same time, it lasts forever. And if you do go a little heavier on this perfume, it will project and it will get you compliments. So this is absolutely beautiful, and that is Chloe Absolu. So moving on into the nighttime direction, I had a really hard time choosing nighttime perfumes that I felt were very elegant. I think because most of my nighttime perfumes tend to go along the gourmand path. Some of them are a little bit more flirtatious. They're not really all that elegant. It's kind of hard to find a really good elegant nighttime perfume. I thought of Coco Noir, but I already have a few other Chanels, so I didn't want to overdo it. So this is the one that I chose for nighttime elegant perfume, and this is La Petite Robe Noir in Intense, also from Guerlain. I think we're probably seeing a theme here. I don't think you can really go wrong with Guerlain fragrances. This one smells very similar to the original La Petite Robe Noir, but they have replaced that note of cherry with blueberry. And this also has quite a lot of cotton candy in it, so this is how I describe it, as being a more sophisticated, elegant, elevated version of a cotton candy fragrance. If you really like sweet fragrances, if you like smelling like a gourmand treat, you want to smell fruity and sweet and candy-like, this is a very elegant version of that scent. It is, however, quite complex. There's quite a few notes in it, other than just the cotton candy and the blueberry, and this is one of my favorites. Admittedly, I don't wear it often because, like I say, for me, this does have a very elegant, almost a formal feel for me. It's not my typical grab and go for nighttime when I just want to be flirtatious or have an intimate encounter. It's just one of those really sexy, delicious, sweet, but still slightly formal fragrances. So that is La Petite Robe Noir Intense from Guerlain. Okay, and the next one is from the House of Chanel. So I don't want to sound too cliche, but I don't think you can talk about elegant, sophisticated fragrances without bringing up the House of Chanel. So you guys, this is my absolute favorite out of the entire Chance line. I do have the Chance Eau Fraiche, and I also have the Chance Eau de Toilette. Those are my three favorite, but this one, well, obviously I like all of them, but this one is my absolute favorite out of all of the Chance perfumes. So this is a musky, patchouli, powdery scent, has a little bit of a white floral component. It also has a tiny bit of vanilla in there, so this is very feminine and very sophisticated, and at the same time it's very unique and very distinct. It's not unique in the fact that nobody wears it, because a lot of people do wear it, but it's unique in the sense that I don't think anything else quite has this Chanel vibe. I absolutely love Chanel. This perfume makes me feel totally put together, sophisticated. It makes me still feel very youthful and vibrant and attractive, and I feel like this is just the embodiment of a classy young woman. And by young, I mean anywhere from your late teens to, you know, age is just a number. This, honestly, anybody could wear this perfume, and I just think it elevates your look so much, and it lasts forever, and it has a great scent bubble. And it's my favorite. Obviously, I haven't worn it quite as much as some of my other perfumes. I feel like I do try to save this for those occasions when I really want to smell put together. It makes a great signature scent, and I really need to just wear it more because it truly is one of my favorite perfumes. The next one is actually from the house of Micallef, and this one is newer to my collection. If you guys saw one of my more recent haul videos, you would have seen this one. And this is Mon Parfum Cristal. So this is in an absolutely gorgeous bottle. It has the crystals adorned on the front, and the juice is a little bit dark. I think this must be a little bit of an older bottle. But this is also one that you could use for like nighttime elegant. This one definitely takes it even more into that elegant direction, even more into the mature direction. And this is a gourmand rose fragrance, not to be mistaken for a rosy gourmand. It is definitely a gourmandy rose. And I want to emphasize that because if you make the same mistake I did, you will look at the notes online and you'll think that this is a very sweet toffee vanilla fragrance. And actually the rose comes through equally as strong as the toffee. So I've told you guys before, this kind of reminds me of like you took a pink Bulgarian rose and you literally dipped it into a bucket of sweet vanilla toffee, and that's what you get. So it's still very sweet, still very gourmand, still very edible smelling, but it's like an edible rose, if you can imagine that. So this one is definitely a little bit more sophisticated. It's beautiful, it's unique, so elegant, so classy. Like, I can't even think of a place I will wear this because I simply don't attend like places that are this elegant. So that should tell you a thing or two about it. I might just have to start wearing it because otherwise I don't know when I will wear it, but it's absolutely beautiful. This was a blind buy for me, and I don't know, hopefully I wear it because I don't want to end up decluttering it. I want it to go to use. So this is Mon Parfum Cristal from Micallef. And the next one is another one from the House of Chanel, and this is Coco Mademoiselle. So again, I know I'm sounding very cliche, but I just have to be honest with you guys, and it just wouldn't be honest if I left this one out because this one is also incredibly classy. This is one of the best-selling Chanel fragrances on the market, if not one of the best-selling women's perfumes on the market in general. And this one is an orange patchouli and tonka bean and sort of a fresh, soapy fragrance. So there is a little bit of a sweetness to it. It's just very classy, it's very clean, it's very sophisticated. It's something you can wear to the office, but you can also transition with this one for the evening. So this is probably one of the most versatile ones that I'm going to show you today. And yeah, I don't know what else is there to say about it. You guys have all smelt this before. It's just incredible. It's definitely a lifer. If I could only pick a couple of Chanel fragrances for the rest of my life, this one would definitely make that list. So this is Coco, Mademoiselle from Chanel. The next one that has to be on my list is from Maison Francis Kurkdjian, and this is Baccarat Rouge 540. I don't talk about this one very much, I think because it is probably very over talked about already. So many people talk about Baccarat Rouge, and this one's also relatively new to my collection. I literally have not worn it yet, you guys, because I do have a couple of samples and decants floating around, and if I do wear them, that's usually the ones I go for. This one to me is kind of a special investment in my collection because I think this is the single most expensive perfume I have in my collection. It was also sort of my most coveted. It was on my wish list for a really long time, even though it took me a long time to really like this perfume. If you watch my channel, you know that this was not love at first sniff. I was sort of underwhelmed by this one when I first smelt it because there was so much hype about it and I was really expecting it to be mind-blowing. Like I was expecting my mind to just completely be blown, and it really wasn't. This is a very subtle perfume. It's a very subtle, resinous, sort of a sparkling, semi-sweet perfume. And there's just something special about it. There's a luminosity to it. There's something about this perfume that smells expensive and you can't really put your finger on it. And at the same time, it has a little bit of a sexiness to it. It lasts forever. Like I literally sprayed my winter jacket with this, not with this one, but with my decant, I think about 2 months ago. My winter jacket still smells like Baccarat Rouge 540, very subtly, but it's there. So it just never leaves. Even though it's not very bold and I sometimes become anosmic to it, it does last forever and ever on your clothing. I think it is well worth the money, and it definitely is one of the most elegant, sophisticated scents on my list. It smells expensive and it smells unique. That is Maison Francis Kurkdjian Baccarat Rouge 540. The second last one on my list is one of my longtime favorite, actually my all-time favorite daytime scent for women. This is Miss Dior Eau de Parfum. So I have smelled all of the flankers of this, and this one still remains my favorite one. I know a lot of people favor the Absolutely Blooming because it's a little bit sweeter, but this one is still my favorite. And if there's ever a day when I don't know what to wear and I just want to smell classy, feminine, sweet, a little bit sexy, very attractive, just beautiful, this is the one I would grab for. And this is an orange, patchouli, and floral scent. It sort of goes along the same veins as like Coco Mademoiselle, but they are very different fragrances. Sometimes people ask if they're similar. I don't find them to be very similar. This is probably a little bit closer to Viktor and Rolf Flower Bomb than it is to Coco Mademoiselle. But I absolutely love it, you guys, and this makes me feel very pretty, very sexy, but also very classy. This is my favorite daytime scent, very classy, Miss Dior Eau de Parfum. And we're gonna finish off today's video on a high note, or with a bang, which is Chanel No. 5 Eau de Parfum, just the classic No. 5. So of course this is not the one that was worn, you know, 100 years ago, literally when it first came out. This one is the formulation that was last reformulated in the early 80s, but it still does have a very vintage, very classic, very like old Hollywood glamour kind of a feel to it. And I love this, you guys. And I have to say, I know that it gets a lot of hate. Some people will call it quote unquote grandma perfume. I don't like to use that term because I have a grandmother. My mother is a grandmother. One day I'm going to be a grandmother. So I don't like to use the term grandmother perfume because I think that really doesn't mean much. I think what people say when they talk about a grandma perfume is they mean old and like dusky or dusty, or like, you know, just like an old lady type of perfume. And I think again that just isn't fitting because it's very stereotypical. This perfume for me doesn't give off like a dusty old woman vibe at all. For me, this is very classy, this is timeless, this is beautiful. It's a very powdery aldehydic scent. Definitely it has, you know, it smells a little dated. It does smell a little vintage. It smells a little 80s, but I love this, and maybe it's just because my tastes have changed over time. I don't know what it is, but there's something about this perfume that I just love and appreciate so much, and I genuinely do like the smell. It's not even like I respect it. I genuinely love the smell. And I do wear it to bed sometimes. You can see there's a little bit missing. I do tend to wear the Eau Premiere because I'm kind of trying to just use that one up. And once I am done with my Eau Premiere, I will not be purchasing it again. I will only buy the Chanel No. 5. And this will probably become one of my signature scents in the future. Not currently. I don't usually wear this out, but I think it's so classy, so pretty, so sophisticated. And this just spells old Hollywood glamour. So how can you not associate that with being sophisticated and elegant and glamorous? This is what Marilyn Monroe supposedly wore to bed. And this just literally transports me to another era and makes me feel very, very classic and glamorous. So that is Chanel No. 5. I think it's a must-have in every woman's collection. I think not everybody will love it at first. I probably wouldn't have liked this 10 years ago. I'm gonna be very honest. Currently, I'm 34 years old and I love this. And I know a lot of other young women in my age category also really like it as well. So I hope it's not too cliche, but I did have to include it in this list. So that is Chanel No. 5, Eau de Parfum. So that is it for today's video. I hope that you guys really enjoyed. Please head on over and follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, where I share a lot of little tidbits of my life that I don't share here on YouTube. And I will see you guys all again very soon. Bye for now.